Alright, we're going to cast a stepping stone mold today. We're going to use the Crete Molds stepping stone mold. We're going to use actually our large dog paw right here. And all we're going to do is mix some concrete and dump it in. It's a pretty simple process. There's not a whole lot of rocket science that goes in behind it. We have some cast from a couple of days ago, and so we're going to strip those too. So little information about the mold here. We use ABS plastic. It's a big difference between some of the molds that you would normally get on, say, eBay or Amazon or somewhere else. These are polystyrene. I did this one the other day, and I stripped the mold out. It looks great, but the problem is it already cracked, and so I'm not going to use this again. Our molds here, the ABS, they're solid, they're very tough. ABS is about the toughest plastic you can get. So if you want to use these for multiple uses, dozens and dozens of uses, go with the ABS. It's a lot better, and it's not much difference in price in the plastic. Okay, so anyway, we've got this one ready to go. We've got a concrete mixed up over here. We just mixed it in a 5-gallon bucket. We used a regular drill with a paddle mixer on it. I didn't really want to cover mixing the concrete because it's pretty simple. All you do is add water. And what you're looking for is a mix that is about like that. It'll stand up pretty much by itself until you shake it. Once you shake it, it'll collapse. So you're looking for a stiffer concrete mix for something like this. If you're going to walk on it, you're going to get a little bit better cast if it's looser, but that's going to make for weaker concrete. So I always go for as stiff as I can get it. So with that, I guess here's our scoop. Here's our concrete. Oh, we did add some color to it. We added some Quikrete buff color mix so that we have a buff color concrete coming out instead of just the plain gray. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cover the entire base of the mold. We don't want to start with too much to begin with. And so we're just going to spread that around. And you can kind of gauge how thick it is based on how we're working this. You don't want something that you can literally pour into and be wet. You really need to pack it. Okay, so we have this filled just a little bit. And so what we're going to do now is, more than likely we have a lot of air entrapped down there. And so what we have to do is just work that air out. So I'm just going to tap and bounce this mold a little bit. And it'll lay flat. So we worked all the air out of it. Now we're going to add a little bit more. Carefully placing it all the way around. Spread it out a little bit. And vibrate it again. That'll settle our concrete, so we won't really need any trowels. It's a pretty simple process. And the more we shake it, the more settled it gets. And what I would do right now is I would consider this done. You know, we're good to go on this mold right here. So what I'll do is show you what it looks like after we let this cure. We're going to let this cure, I would say, for at least a day. And what we'll do is we'll actually take some plastic and cover it. Concrete is a kind of a thing that cures very, very slowly. What it is the cement actually hydrates into the concrete. So you want that moisture to be retained in it. It will still stiffen, it will still get hard and cure out, but the more controlled you have that, the better off you are. You don't want to leave these sitting in the sunlight to heat up and dry out really quick, because the cement in your concrete won't hydrate properly. So here's some molds we have. We did these the other day. I'll just go around and break the entire perimeter loose. And these should just pop right out. no problem, piece of cake. It did just pop right out. And again, ABS plastic as opposed to the polystyrene. Big difference. Might as well cast that one too. This one I stripped a couple of minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago. It did look just like this. So when this one sets up and dries a little bit more, again, these were sitting for, these were actually about 2, maybe 3 days old. This will end up looking just like that one. There's a small dog paw. Comes right out. And again, pops right out. And that's because we used a release agent in the mold prior to casting the concrete. And here's our large dog paw. That's just like this one that we just cast right here. Break this one free. It's a little bit bigger. It might not come out quite as easily. You gotta work it all the way around. It's hanging on a little bit. I can feel it's coming loose. It's got to come straight off. And there we go. There we have it. So I'll go ahead and cast another one of our medium dog paws. This is the release agent I used. It's Pregatire VOC20. You don't have to use this. It's made specially for concrete. You could get away with something like Crisco that you find in your kitchen. And we're just going to put a light mist coat on. This is a special concrete release agent. And again, like Crisco, you could wipe that in with a rag. Now you got to take a brush and work it around, working it into the corners. We have some debris left in there. So that's a real good coating right there. Let me switch places with this big one. And again, we'll get some more concrete out. Cover our bottom layer first. And that's only maybe 3/8 of an inch thick. Pat it into place and then tap it. It's just about full. I could put maybe a little bit more in there. I don't necessarily need to, but fill it up a little bit more. We might have some crusting on the edges. But that will usually just flake right off. So I will let this cure covered for at least a day. And as I cover it, as it starts to cure out, I'll notice I get some moisture that builds up on the plastic. To let the concrete properly cure and cement properly hydrate. So after that, we'll strip it, and hopefully you have a great looking mold.